Hello, it's Kit Allowitz. Welcome back to another short video on the 7 habits of highly effective people. By now, you've got to be working through the material. You've got to be getting through the book. Is it getting good yet? Do you really like it? Do you love it? All right, so today I'd like to give you yet another brief, biased angle perspective on how the 7 habits of highly effective people is truly one of the smartest books ever written. Why? Because Stephen Covey, the author of the material, took natural laws, he took principles, he put them into habits, then he put some sequential nature to the habits to truly form a solution for a highly effective life, however that shows up for you. Today we want to cover habit number 4. Habit number 4 is think win-win, and it takes the first 3 habits of dependence and independence to the habits of interdependence, working together and through and with others. So again, habit number 4 is think win-win. This habit is simply to say, well, I should say it's easy to say and yet requires that you must have some application and internalization and institutionalization of habits 1, 2, and 3 in order to make it happen. Now, why do I say that? Because when we say think win-win, we're really talking about you and another person thinking they must win, as well as the other, that you both must be in a perspective that if you both win, there's a mutual beneficial outcome. You must win and I must win. That's the only way that really makes sense. Think about it. What if you win and I lose, or I win and you lose, or you lose and I lose? Does that make sense? Are you interested in that kind of scenario? No, the only thing that makes sense is to go for or to think win-win. Now, how do you go for win-win? Well, there's probably many ingredients, but I'm just going to give you 3 that are covered in the content: integrity, maturity, and the abundance mentality. Integrity is doing what you say. Maturity is being able to use wisdom and judgment. Abundance mentality is extending grace and believing that in your bones that there's literally enough pie for everyone, and by working together we can get mutual beneficial outcomes. Now, a pretty neat concept from habit number 4 is called the emotional bank account. If you can imagine a literal bank account you have with each person in terms of a relationship that you have with them. Each time you show integrity, have abundance mentality, and go for maturity, you add coins to the emotional bank account of the other person by extending those 3 things. To the degree that you invest in the bank accounts of others is literally to the degree that you can more easily navigate the conversations and go for mutual beneficial outcomes. On the flip side, if your bank account is low, whether we're talking about money or the emotional side, substantially less is available to you in both those scenarios. Going for win-win is also about managing each other's expectations. In the content, it describes that one of the best ways to do this is by working through what's called a win-win agreement. This is a simple way to better manage expectations. A win-win agreement includes 5 categories to communicate with others who you're engaged in going for a win-win on. So they include: what are the desired results you're looking for? What are the guidelines? What are the resources? What is the accountability? And finally, what are the consequences if we don't go for win-win and manage each other's expectations? Habit number 4, think win-win. It's a mindset. And this mindset, I'm going to suggest to you, makes all the difference in the world. I invite and consider and encourage you to go for win-win. I invite you to become and be the 7 habits. Breathe it, do it, be it, live it. I'm Kit Allowitz, and we'll see you next time.